Gateway. Integrate in as little as 30 minutes. Conditions apply. The time by Sagicor Bank is...
It is now 7 o'clock right here on the Family Station, Love 101. Time now for the Morning Watch.
Listeners to Love 101 FM are advised that the views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of Love 101 FM.
Hello and welcome to the Morning Watch on Love 101 FM. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. A special welcome to our listeners on love101.org. And if you're overseas and on the move, US listeners can access us at 712-832-8001. And if you're in the UK, 0330-332-6541. Or join us via the Love 101 FM app that can be downloaded from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can also join us on Love 101 FM Facebook and the YouTube Live. In the first watch today, reactions to the recent toll increases. In the second watch, wither the death penalty in Jamaica. Our social media question we ask, how will you be dealing with the recent hike in the Highway 2000 toll fees? Share your responses on our Love 101 FM Facebook page and YouTube channel, and also on WhatsApp 876-997-3125 using the hashtag The Morning Watch. We'll share your responses later on in the program, but before all of that, here's I quote.
I quote, always remember that you can explain things for people, but you can't comprehend for them. This one from Shannon L. Adler. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Rasheen. How you doing?
I am doing well, very well.
I need to ask you first, before we even throw it out further. How you plan to deal with the increases in the Highway 2000 toll?
Well, I will try my best to leave out early. Or if I'm not the one that's going to leave out, I encourage my other hole leave out early before, the
so
rush.
You're gonna avoid the toll, that's what you're saying?
Pretty much.
Okay. Yeah, that seems
Well, only where necessary, I will take it. But if I'll just get up casually and just drive on the toll when, other avenues are clear then.
Yeah. I feel a number of other persons are going to do the same. Well, we're going to talk about it in the first watch, so let's see how that goes.
All right.
We'll be back in just a moment.
Pastors, elders, church and ministry leaders who wish to participate in a special book distribution of the 100 Steps Family Bible are being asked to contact the Bible Society of the West Indies today. The 100 Steps Family Bible is a book that contains 100 steps from which readers can discover about Jesus Christ, how special the Bible is, and how the old age stories still have meaning today. For further information, you may contact the Bible Society of the West Indies at familybible100@gmail.com.
Highway 2000 East-West wishes to advise the public that they have had to adjust the current toll rate structure on all legs of the East-West Highway for 2022. As part of this rate revision, which takes effect on Saturday, July 9, Highway 2000 East-West will also introduce brand new discounted toll rates for T-Tag customers at Portmore. For details on these reduced T-Tag rates and all other rate changes, please visit the website at transjamaicanhighway.com. Highway 2000 East-West thanks all customers for their support as they continue working to provide world-class service. What a piece of niceness go on this past weekend in the Isle of Summer Pool Up.
And due to how it nice, we have more. We have more.
We have more. Oh, yes. This coming Saturday, July 9, we are going west.
With our very own DJ Rebirth, Harry Gale, KG Forbes, and Sarah and Edward. Join us for another leg of the I Love Summer
Pull-up! As we do just that, pull up at the Trumpet Call Ministries in Montego Bay.
The first 30 youths on location at 2:30 p.m. for the pre-show with DJ Rebirth will get a goodie bag.
A goodie bag?
A goodie bag.
Yeah, then the excitement continues at 3 p.m. and ends at 5. And it's packed with a whole heap of excitement.
So come for the fun and games, stay for the ministry and encouragement from Chandra Cohen,
Dwayne Hartwell,
Joanna Walker, and others.
Yes, Montego Bay, we are in the place this Saturday, July 9, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Trumpet Call Ministry with the DJ Rebirth Mix the Music Nice pre-show at 2:30 p.m.
The I Love Summer Pull-up
this coming Saturday, July 9.
And it will be live on the family station, Love 101.
Love 101's I Love Summer Tour, the Jamaica 60 edition.
I love it, I love it, I love it. If it's not you.
Love 101, the family station, invites you to listen for a blessing Tuesday, July 5 at 8 p.m. as we share a live broadcast from the Faith Claim Ministries Convocation with worship from Kevin Downswell and a powerful word from Bishop Arthur Grant to bless and lift your spirit. The convocation begins Sunday, July 3 and continues through to Tuesday, July 5 under the theme, Oh, to See His Face. The broadcast will be live on Love 101 social media platforms and on radio. Tuesday, July 5, 8 p.m. It will be on the family station, Love 101.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Well, listeners, once again, the toll road fees are set to take their toll on motorists who use such roads across the nation. Indeed, next Saturday, July 9, the announced increased fees will come into effect, although the date was initially set for last Saturday, July 2. So, what are or may be the reactions to these increases? And what are the challenges and concerns therein? To answer these and other related questions we have online Mr. Robert Miller, MP for Southeastern St. Catherine, Mr. Louis Barton, President of JATU. Good morning to you both.
Good morning to you both, and thanks for having me.
All right, that's Mr. Barton. MP Miller, Are you with us?
Not yet.
Okay, MP Miller is not on as yet. Okay, we hope to be joined by him. All right, so welcome again, Mr. Barton. Long time I haven't spoken to you on this program. It has been a while. Yeah. What are your opening thoughts on the proposed or pending toll increases?
All right. From the transport operators' point of view, we are opposed to it because of our present economic condition. The transport operators' present condition is one where we are price takers. We are under price control. We cannot raise our fare unless the government give us permission. The last time we got a permission to raise the fare was 8 years ago. We got one raise a fare last year. Now, I'm not advocating that we must raise our fare every so often, but we need a system that can help to underwrite our expenses. Whenever things go up, whether it's the inflation rate or the exchange rate, whatever it is goes up, then we have to absorb that. And it's becoming harder and harder every day for us in the transport sector to survive. Now, when you this toll rate increase to all of that, it's just another nail in the coffin. Excuse me. It's another nail in the coffin for us. So we are opposed to it, but we understand that the contract, the agreement for the use of the road was that every so often the thing will be adjusted.
Right.
The figure will be adjusted, whatever they're supposed to get out of it. But we are asking the government for some dialogue on it. Don't ignore our sector because you have an agreement with some investors. The investors must get back their money. I'm an advocate for that. But also understand that we have to live. We as operators have to live, right? In Jamaica, you have about roughly 50,000 people carrying passengers all over Jamaica. You have literally about 34,000, I think, registered operators, people who have red plate, who carry passengers. So those people are affected, but they are affected in different ways. And I understand that because most of my members in JATU operate in Kingston. And those operators really don't take the Mandela toll or the North-South toll or the Portmore toll as often as other people. Some of our members said the Portmore toll very regular. Well, not even regular, almost every day.
Yeah.
So they are directly affected by this. But we were asking the government, and yesterday we had a demonstration. Well, it was supposed to be a demonstration, not to demonstrate, not to block road, not to do anything, but just to highlight to the public that the increase affect us, and we want to talk about it. We're asking the government to come and talk to us about it. Yeah.
What though, Mr. Barton, because from all indications, the increase is not only proposed, but it is going to happen a couple of days' time. Yeah. What other means and measures will you take in addressing this issue?
Well, it as I said, one of the problems that we have in organizing against this toll road increase is that it doesn't affect many of our members, right? But I am saying to them, if this increase affects people from the rural areas, then you have less people coming to the Kingston area, my members area. So you will have less demand for transportation and less money for them. Now, because of that, we want to not to demonstrate and stop work stoppage and all of that. We're far from that, at least for now, right? But we want the government to take into consideration that transport operators throughout Jamaica, because you have operators who working in Montego Bay and have to take some, or Mandeville and have to take somebody to the airport in Kingston, or people come into Kingston for most of their livelihood for doing documentation, whatever is required. Kingston is the center, and if you're coming from the rural areas, then you have to go. You should go through the toll, and it's going to be an extra cost to us when that happens. And even when you talk about alternative to the toll, we have to recognize that the alternate route to the toll is more expensive in the long run than taking the toll. That's why some people take the toll. It may be an immediate expense. The toll may be an immediate expense, but in the long run, if you have to take the alternate routes, the roads are not as good. The timing that it takes to go around is not good. So it becomes more expensive in the long run for you if you have to do it every week or every month or whatever time period they do it. In the long run, it becomes more expensive. So the toll is a more efficient way to do business.
But isn't that part of the argument that could be given then? That it's less expensive to take the toll for members of your organization. So even though there is an increase, it still ends up being less than going the other route.
Yeah, I agree with that. But let us talk about that, because as I said, we are the transport sector in particular, and I'm not negating the other people, the general public that have problems. Because when I'm going to the country from Kingston, I take the toll. So on a personal level, I have problems with the increase because I don't get I'm a retired person. I'm on fixed income. I don't have no money to spend. But
tell you what, Mr. Barton, I'm so sorry. We are up on a break. Just hold that point, all right? To be right back.
Okay.
Bashco time. All the things that you need for your home with prices so low, you would never need alone at Bashco. Spend it at Bashco. Appliances, house with furniture and rugs, eastside linens and glass and mugs at Bashco. When you're shopping at Bashco, whether the north or so in the east and the west, Bashco them all over the bus, be the best at Bashco. At Bashco, when you're shopping at Bashco. At Bashco, giving you more.
From generation to generation, Jamaicans have depended on J&B Bank to make the pride and joy of providing a safe place for their families possible. Now, with no processing fees and no down payment mortgage options, you can open the door to your own sweet home, a legacy to hand to your next generation. Visit jnbank.com to get pre-approved today. J&B Bank will help you find a way.
What a piece of niceness gone this past weekend in the Isle of Summer pool up.
And due to how it nice, we have more. We have more.
We have more. Oh yes, this coming Saturday, July 9, we are going west
with our very own DJ Rebirth, Harry Gale, KG Forbes, and Sarah and Edward. Join us for another leg of the I Love Summer Pull Up.
As we do just that, pull up at the Trumpet Call Ministries in Montego Bay.
The first 30 youths on location at 2:30 p.m. for the pre-show with DJ Rebirth will get a goodie bag.
A goodie bag?
A goodie bag.
Yeah, then the excitement continues at 3 p.m. and ends at 5. And it's packed with a whole heap of excitement.
So come for the fun and games, stay for the ministry and encouragement from Chandra Cohen,
Dwayne Hartwell,
Joanna Walker, and others.
Yes, Montego Bay, we are in the place this Saturday, July 9, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Trumpet Call Ministry with the DJ Rebirth Mix the Music Nice pre-show at 2:30 p.m.
The I Love Summer Pool Up.
This coming Saturday, July 9.
And it will be live on the family station, Love 101.
Love 101's I Love Summer Tour, the Jamaica 60 edition.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. And in this, the first watch, we have been discussing reactions to the recent toll increases. And we have online Mr. Louis Barton, president of JATU. And because I had mentioned earlier, we are still hoping to connect with the MP for Southeastern St. Catherine, MP Robert Miller. I've been trying to get through to you on the lines, on the telephone, sir. So we're asking that you could connect with the station as promised. Mr. Barton, thanks for staying with us.
Yeah, man, that's all right.
Right. I interrupted your train of thought. Please continue as you respond to the argument that, you know, if it's less expensive to use a toll than the alternate route, then
yeah, it is less expensive, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't cost something, right?
Yes.
The increase in the cost is hurting us. Although you understand, it's less expensive, yes, but we need to keep costs down. From the transport operator's point of view, As I said in the beginning, we don't get. It is as if we know it's a general thing in Jamaica that whenever the price of wheat goes up in New York, where in America, the price of wheat goes up in the farming areas in America, the price of bread goes up down here, and flour and all the things that comes out of the wheat, right? And it goes up immediately. That doesn't happen that type of thing doesn't happen in transportation. In transportation, when the cost of oil goes up, we still get the same income. Our price doesn't go up. That is what we get. It stays there. So whenever the toll rate goes up, it is a reduction in our income.
Well,
we are opposed to that. But we understand the economy. We understand that things will go up. But so talk to us. We are significant. I maintain, and my organization maintain that we are a significant sector in the Jamaican economy.
So the authorities not talking to you people? They're not talking to you people?
No, it was just imposed on us. It was just imposed on us.
You see, because of the contract.
Yeah.
That's so. Yes, it's a contractual arrangement.
Yeah.
So the government's hands are tied. It is starting some quarters.
Kind of. And I'm saying that, yes, the contract says that. Yeah, you have an agreement with people. Pay them whatever. But agreements can be changed. But if you realize that something is hurting somebody who you have an agreement with, you have to take their condition into practice, into a new arrangement. Make a new arrangement. It is done all the time.
This contract goes many years from now, you know.
I think it's a 30-year contract. Yeah, I think it's a 30-year contract.
Yeah.
The road people. I'm saying that I understand that, you know. But they should, not even they alone, but the government and the investors who invested in the road, who are the people who manage the road, they should realize that if your market, if your people who using the road cannot afford to use it, then you're going to be less off. So you're going to be worse off as a road owner, operator, whatever they are. We have to let them know that this thing is hurting us, and we need to talk to see how it can be relieved. Let me give an example. I hear I think it was Fitz Jackson, the MP for
in Portmore, yes.
He made a suggestion that the primary deficit or primary surplus that we have in Jamaica, an agreement is made with the IMF on the international economy that Jamaica have a 4% primary surplus. Fitz Jackson recommended that you cut that primary surplus to 2%, and use it to buttress the different part of our economy that is falling down. Right now, a number of transport operators have turned in their red plate, and some of them still carrying passengers, but they are illegally carrying passengers with white plate. There are many different things that is happening in the transport sector because of the economic climate that we face.
There are those who would argue that it could be worse, bearing in mind that there's the offer of discounted rates, rebates, and frequent user rewards. What's your response to that?
No, I think they have a frequent user reward in this regime that is supposed to start next Saturday.
Yes.
I just don't think that is significant. I think it's at 20 cents on the Portmore leg and relatively things like that, right? But it is.
No, if you use it 10 times, you get free the other time, something like that.
It's what? I didn't hear that.
If you use it 10 times so the week, you get it free. Right.
Yeah, well,
so there are those who arguing that that's those are some niceties. Why?
That is it. You use the right word. They're just niceties. I don't think we are factored into this transportation business.
Okay.
The road, the uses of the road, the new thing about tolls, because tolls is a relatively new idea in Jamaica. I heard that it was in from the 1800s and all of that. But for present day Jamaica, it's a new thing, right? And I think people who use the road on a regular basis, whether you use the toll road or not, should be factored in. And I'm saying that for transport operators, the 50,000 people who carry passengers up and down Jamaica need to be factored in with any discussion. As a matter of fact, if that was taken into consideration when they were making the contract to build the highway, we would have a better idea. I'm just asking for inclusion in whatever is happening to us.
Yeah. So in light of the increase then, which will take effect next Saturday, will your members be advocating for a further fee increase?
A fee
on your part? Yes.
Yeah. Well, a number of us has already started to ask for a fare increase because we got the fare increase, I think, was sometime late last year. And within 6 months, not even that. The fare increase that we got last year was not enough to cover our expenses.
Right.
So adding the COVID problem, adding the inflationary problem, adding the exchange rate,
the gas prices,
right?
Yeah.
Especially gas price, because gasoline is 50% of our cost.
Right.
Our annual cost of operation, gas is 50%, and then you're talking about oil, which is something else, but is imported related and oil related, and regular oil that you use in the car. So a good probably over 60% of our operation comes from gas, from oil. And all of that went up and went sky high. So what we got last year as a fare increase is wiped out. It was wiped out immediately. It didn't cover our costs. Yeah. So I'm saying that we need to struggle on that. We need to be included in some form of planning.
So, Mr. Barton, if that increase is not given to your members, what next? What next will you people be doing?
Formally, we can only appeal to the government, because we are doing that now. So we try to have meetings with the different ministries to put our case to them to see what can be done. Now, outside of that, let's say any number can play. Advocating any number. But we as an organization don't have any control over what people might do on the road. Because right now, the operators, some operators
have increased their fare, yes.
They increased the fare, and it is said that it is illegal.
Yes,
but you either can buy the gas to go somewhere, or you can't go anywhere. That is where it is. And all we're asking for, as far as I'm concerned, and my organization is concerned, all we're asking for is dialogue. Let us put our case to you and tell us where we are going wrong. What are we doing? Because when we look at our situation, if we don't get more money in the system as individuals, then we have to stop running. Right? That is if you're doing it legally. Because you can do some shortcut method where you overtake on the right and you do all kind of crazy things just to take up time. And you see the guys who do the road, they drive crazy because there's a time factor built in this system in carrying passengers. You want to carry a passenger from Duane Park to Half a Tree in 5 minutes, because you can come back to Duane Park in another 10 minutes. And that means money to you. But 5 minutes to Half a Tree to Duane Park is a killer. It's like you drive a helicopter. You know? So, but those are the things that will happen. And I'm not leaving out any form of demonstration and interruption of traffic and that type of thing.
And then after the demonstration, you people are back to square one because you have to go back on the road to make yes, get an income.
Exactly.
Yes, and the authorities know this.
That's the thing. So that's why we are, as an organization, is asking for dialogue more than anything.
Right. Okay.
If we are not included in this, then
we have to leave it there, Mr. Barter. It looks like a stalemate to me, you know. It looks like a stalemate to me.
I'm quite sure that the government officials can look at our position and come up with something.
Okay. All right. Thanks for coming on, Mr. Louis Barton. All the best to you and the transport operators.
If it ever become a stalemate, you will know from me.
All right, sir. Good. We'll talk.
All right. Great. All right. Take care. Thanks for the interview.
Yeah, man. Listeners, the Morning Watch will return in just a moment.
A JN Bank personal unsecured loan can help you tackle your goals with monthly payments as low as $19,999 per million. Conditions apply. The time by JN Bank is...
It is now 7:31 right here on the family station, Love 101. Stay tuned, my friends.
What a piece of niceness gone this past weekend in the I Love Summer Pull Up.
And due to how it nice, we have more. We have more.
We have more. Oh, yes. This coming Saturday, July 9, we are going west.
With our very own DJ Rebirth, Harry Gale, KG Forbes, and Sarah and Edwards. Join us for another leg of the I Love Summer Pull Up.
As we do just that, pull up at the Trumpet Call Ministries in Montego Bay.
The first 30 youths on location at 2:30 p.m. for the pre-show with DJ Rebirth will get a goodie bag.
A goodie bag?
A goodie bag.
Yes, then the excitement continues at 3 p.m. and ends at 5. And it's packed with a whole heap of excitement.
So come for the fun and games, stay for the ministry and encouragement from Chandra Cohen,
Dwayne Hartwell,
Joanna Walker, and others.
Yes, Montego Bay, we are in the place this Saturday, July 9, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Trumpet Call Ministry with the DJ Rebirth Mix the Music Nice pre-show at 2:30 p.m.
The I Love Summer Pull Up.
This coming Saturday, July 9.
And it will be live on the family station, Love 101.
Love 101's I Love Summer Tour, the Jamaica 60 edition.
I love it.
We try to send our children to school with a healthy lunch, right? If we knew what was in some of those foods that are high in sugar, saturated fats, and sodium, would we still give it to them? An unhealthy diet as a child can lead to obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and even cancer as they get older. Octagonal warning labels on the front of food packages are 9 times more effective at identifying unhealthy foods. Give us octagonal warning labels on packaged foods. Protect our children's health. A message from the Heart Foundation of Jamaica and partners.
Colgate Triple Action. 3 benefits for a deep clean. As a mother, you always want to give the best to your family and to make them happy. With Colgate Triple Action, you give them 3 reasons to smile. Cavity protection, whiter teeth, and fresh breath. A unique formula with a minty flavor they will love. Colgate Triple Action. Find it at your favorite store.
Join the 5K walk, run, and health fair with lots of prizes and surprises to offer. Saturday, July 9 with the 5K walk run starting at 6:30 a.m. at 92 Red Hills Road, opposite Red Hills Mall. Then when you're done walk and run, stay for the health fair, which starts at 10:30 a.m. To register, call 876-899-2700 or 577-7300. God Family Ministries 5K walk, run, and health fair, Saturday, July 9. On your mark, set, let's stay healthy.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Let's look at the newspapers to see what Jamaicans and others are saying and doing in the Gleaner. CONCACAF Women's Championship. Jamaica blank Mexico 1-0. Congratulations to the women's team. The men were unable to do it. You did it. Great. Then Ukraine lays out 750 billion recovery plan for post-war future. And also in the Gleaner, regional leaders begin 2 days of summit talks. In the Observer, new study shows viability of waste-to-energy project for Jamaica. And also 20 vie for Miss Universe Jamaica crown. And then on the sad note, more savagery. Husband detained after 67-year-old bedridden woman found with throat slashed. These are some of the stories in our newspapers. Coming up next, we'll read some of the feedback from our social media question. How will you be dealing with the recent hike in the Highway 2000 toll fees? We're asking you to leave a comment on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, Love 101 FM Jamaica, or WhatsApp 876-997-3125. We will be right back.
He knows my name.
Here is your opportunity to connect with someone who will listen, pray, and give guidance. It's the telephone counseling ministry of the Edgewater Baptist Church. Please call 876-220-6474. Weekdays between 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. and Sundays between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Please talk to someone if you're finding it particularly challenging to cope during this period of global crisis. Someone is waiting for your call. Please reach out today. 876-220-6474. It's the telephone counseling ministry of the Edgewater Baptist Church.
This is a reminder that somebody cares. Endorsed by Love 101.
He knows my name.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Let's join Roshane for a look at how our Facebook, YouTube, and WhatsApp friends answer today's question: how will you be dealing with the recent hike in the Highway 2000 toll fees? Roshane.
Well, I have no clear responses, but I see a question here from a listener that says, good morning. If you pass 5 times for one day, do you have to pay each time? So that's a question.
I can answer that. Yes. Yes.
I guess that's it. I guess that's it. Let me see if there's any other. No, there's no at this time.
Yes.
Checking.
5 times, 50 times. Well, you get after 10 times, you also get a free access. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Great. Well, as we segue into the second watch, in light of the recent gruesome murders in Cocoa Peace, Clarendon, the DPP has reportedly served a death notice on the alleged killer. Such action has once again brought to the fore of public discussion and debate the importance and relevance of the death penalty for Jamaica today. Well, to discuss these and other related issues, we have joining us the Reverend Sean Major Campbell, human rights activist, rector of Christ Church in Vineyard Town, Mr. Kevin O'Brien Chang, social commentator. Good morning to you both.
Good morning to you all. Peace be with you.
And with you. Good morning, Mr. Chang. Not sure if he's muted. Mr. Chang, good morning.
I'm here, but
Yes, good morning. Good to have you both with us.
you hearing me now?
Yes, we're hearing you. We're hearing you loud and clear. Good to have you with
Okay.
us. Welcome.
Okay.
Yes. All right,
Thanks,
gentlemen. Yes. What are your opening thoughts on the recent serving of a death penalty notice by the DPP? Beginning with you, Mr. O'Brien Chow.
I can tell you personally, I am ambivalent about the death penalty. I am on a fence about it. But I do know this, that the public is really desperate. They see this crime that's been going on for 30 years now. Jamaica's had the highest murder rate in the world. Nothing seems to work. The government is doing some things, but not doing everything that it can do. And the Jamaicans, look on the last weekend, look what it. You saw how many people being killed. This little boy went to help his mother being shot dead.
Yeah.
And despite the cry of the public for tougher measures, tougher bail penalty, tougher bail measures, stiffer mandatory penalties for gun possession and murder and all that, right? It's constantly fought down by these so-called civil rights groups, so-called human rights groups, and the lawyers and the judges keep saying, oh, what we have is fine. So the public wants something done, and the death penalty is something that's easy to talk about. I mean, we had it in the past, you know. Many people feel it works. So the public definitely wants it. There's no question. The overwhelming majority of Jamaicans want it because they simply want something done. And, you know, you have to wonder, we're in a democracy, and the will of the majority of the people keeps being ignored. Even for the state of emergency, the public, clearly all the polls show people want it. So we have a situation where democracy is supposedly the will of the people, but the will of the people is not prevailing whatsoever when it comes to crime. Nothing the people want about crime is being done, and that includes the death penalty. And so it's a symbol to me of the great contradiction of Jamaica. We're a democratic country where the people are supposed to determine what happens, and their wishes are being totally ignored by everybody. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's very strange. I don't know how long it can continue. But a democracy, the will of the people is not being heard.
Okay. Reverend Major Campbell, your thoughts? Opening thoughts?
I recognize that people are indeed desperate, but desperation still calls for leadership. We are in desperate times, but desperate times still call for the use of reason. It is because of desperation why people, for example, resort to jungle justice. But desperation is never a good ethical position to inform these difficult decisions. Something that I find difficult in the midst of all of this is when this conversation is grounded in the context of gruesome murders committed, of course, by one person. And it goes against the grain for any well-thinking individual or society. So when we are looking at this context, and then we come up with this debate, really, it is not surprising that many from the sphere of politics are quick to just jump on the human rights activists. They are a low fence. Nobody is voting for them. So it's easy to just jump on them. But the truth is that kind of approach ultimately blows up on all of us. And no civilized society can operate without seeking justice, not just for one, but justice for all. Remembering always that justice for one is justice for all.
Reverend Major, you mentioned that desperate times call for reason. Are you intimating that the call for the death penalty is not based on reason?
Not necessarily. I am saying instead that when you take the approach of jungle justice, the approach of with regards to feeding the appetite for blood, is often the go-to resort in desperate times such as these.
But is it possible for the death penalty? I'm sorry, is it possible for the call for death penalty to be a reasonable call based on reason, logic?
It may sound logical, however, as it did in the Old Testament, I find interesting though that whereas we are largely hung up on a law-centered approach in relation to the death penalty, the New Testament and the way of Christ, which many of us would like to represent.
Okay, stick a pin right there.
Approach, but a grace-centered approach.
Stick a pin right there. I'm so sorry, Reverend Sean Major. We are up on a break. We'll be right back.
If it's not you.
Love 101, the family station, invites you to listen for a blessing Tuesday, July 5 at 8 p.m. as we share a live broadcast from the Faith Claim Ministries Convocation with worship from Kevin Downswell and a powerful word from Bishop Arthur Grant to bless and lift your spirit. The convocation begins Sunday, July 3 and continues through to Tuesday, July 5 under the theme, Oh, to See His Face. The broadcast will be live on Love 101 social media platforms and on radio. Tuesday, July 5, 8 p.m. It will be on the family station, Love 101.
Refreshing your space should be a breeze. And at Active Home Center, we have made it easy by having what you need all in one place. Shop the largest selection of tiles, bathroom fixtures, lighting, doors, and more. Visit us at 84 Constance Spring Road in Kingston or check out our newly opened location in Freeport, Montego Bay. Come speak with our in-house experts and hit refresh on your space. Active Home Center. More savings, more choices.
The Jamaica Agricultural Society, in association with the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, present
the Denby Agricultural, Industrial and Food Show
from July 30 to August 1
at the Denby Showground, Maypen, Clarendon.
Yes,
Gates open 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily.
Admission $1,200 for adults, $600 for children. Jamaicans, grow smart, eat smart. Come celebrate Jamaica 60 at Denby 2022.
You're invited to listen to Dollars and Cents every Thursday at 8:16 a.m. We'll give you tips on how to make your money count, how to save, and how to grow your worth. It's all inside Dollars and Cents, brought to you by BPM Financial Limited, taking you higher. That's Dollars and Cents every Thursday at 8:16 a.m. on the family station, Love 101.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint, and in the second half of the second watch, we are, asking the question whether the death penalty in Jamaica. And in so doing, we have online Mr. Kevin O'Brien Chang, social commentator, and Reverend Sean Major Campbell, human rights activist and rector of Christ Church in Vineyard Town. Before the break, Reverend Major Campbell, you were telling us, I think you're going into scripture.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Yes.
Right, was noting that we live in a context where many like to speak of Christianity, Bible, Jesus. But it's worthy of note that in Jesus we see a grace-centered approach versus a law-centered approach. It is this Jesus who, when he makes reference to Mosaic tradition, he says things like, you have been told an eye for an eye, but I say to you. He moves to another level. Many of us are quite familiar, for example, with the account of the woman caught in adultery. And when this woman is taken to Jesus, and nobody else was found to join in the accusation, Jesus did not proceed to say, you all know what the law is. Come. We need somebody to come forward. Is it true? Was there anybody else who was aware of this? The law says she should be stoned to death. Let us obey the law. Nothing like that. Instead, for a crime that actually required capital punishment, required death, Jesus instead says to her, go and sin no more. He could have advocated for the law. Instead, he exercised grace. This conversation about death penalty, as with many other conversations in our country, we need to make more time and space for difficult conversations. That is how we are going to become our better selves and a less barbaric society. We have a problem with violence. We have a problem with anger management. And a big part of the problem is that we are staying far from difficult conversations.
All right, tell you what now. Mr. Chang, what's your response to what was just said by Reverend Major Campbell?
Yes, so if you read the Bible, turn the other cheek. But Jesus also said, render to Caesar what is Caesar's.
What that means? What that means in your context? And
in other words, that the world has to be run, right? We talk about the taxes. If you don't pay taxes, for example, a country cannot run.
Right. So
therefore, in other words, there's lots of various interpretations. It's not a Bible class, right? But all I would have to say is, you can get a huge conversation about that. But what I would say is, we should practice on a private sphere, which is to, always to forgive. On a public sphere, a country has to be run. Your actions have to have consequences, right? You can't forgive every criminal. Criminals go to jail, to prison. If you have to forgive every crime out there, the country will be in chaos. So you have to separate the public sphere from the private sphere. Now, as I say, I'm ambivalent about the death penalty. But the death penalty debate here is a symbol. It's merely another symbol of things that the public wants, right? Like tougher bail laws, the public definitely wants tougher bail laws. They want tougher sentencing for gun crimes, murders, violence, right? And we've had this problem for 30 years going in. Is that crime is not a new thing in Jamaica. This is not our highest murder rate ever. It's high, but we've had higher in 2005, 2009, right? But it's just the public is frustrated because nothing that the public wants to fight crime, they can get. Even look at the death penalty. 70% consistently since, not the death penalty, the state of emergency. 70% of the public when polled since 2010 consistently say they want a longer state of emergency. The country is in a state of emergency. The highest murder rate in the world for 30 years. Which country in the world is going to have the situation and just sit down and do nothing like we have been doing? And the death penalty debate is merely one more instance of the public wanting to feel safe, to be protected, to have tougher measures from the politicians. And they cannot get what we want. And the human rights people, some of them may have good intentions, like Reverend Campbell, but some of them are blatant hypocrites. Look at this. This man killed 5 people, a mother and 4 children. And one human rights group talking about rehabilitation for him. It is crazy.
Why is that crazy?
A man slaughtered 5 people. Hold on. A man slaughtered 5 people. And you're going to talk about rehabilitating him? Give me a break, man. Give me a break. What about the grandmother with the mother and her daughter and 4 grandchildren died? And you must rehabilitate? That's insanity. This man should never see the light of day again.
Oh my.
As my view, once you have taken a life, you have lost the right to have any sympathy, anything like that. I mean, even if you're against the death penalty, this man should be put away. He should never see the light of day again, even if you're not against the death penalty. Right? Okay. And the example being set, I mean, it's 1,400 people murdered last year now. Yeah. We've had 20,000 plus people killed in the last 15 years in Jamaica. By far the highest rate of any country in the world not at war. Right? Okay. And then people are saying we must not have tougher measures. We must not deal harshly with criminals. Even if you don't have the death penalty, we must take the strongest measures possible. Otherwise, how will the crime ever go away?
Yeah.
If we don't have tough penalties, where the deterrence going to come from? These men are going to be on the streets slaughtering at will, and you tap them on this thing. Oh, poor misguided young man, he needs rehabilitation. Be reasonable, man. Come on.
All right, Reverend Major Campbell, what's your response to that?
Unfortunately, and with respect, I have to recognize that there is a simplistic dimension to some of the arguments.
Simplistic?
Being offered here. It is not sufficient to just go from a position on what the public wants. It sounds good. It sounds politically correct.
Uh-huh.
However, if the public wants jungle justice, do we give it to them? If the public wanted to still have some children defined as illegitimate children and wanted to still condemn common law unions, should we still give it to them? Or do we invite people to move to another level? And as I said before, have the difficult conversations. It is politically safe also to jump on human rights advocates, but it is not reasonable to be throwing around comments like, oh, they are hypocrites because they want rehabilitation. It so happens that, again, one of the strong Christian positions against death penalty is the rehabilitationist approach. And interestingly, one of the observations that has been made is right there in Ezekiel, where you might recall the teaching that God requires or takes no pleasure in the death of the wicked. Instead, it is that the wicked should turn away from his way and live.
But God doesn't take pleasure in having to discipline us either. So,
yes, but discipline, a more enlightened society does not define discipline in relation to beating children and killing people who have committed capital crimes.
Mm.
Now, this is why the public has totally zero regard for human rights, people, you know. Right. Listen, you have a grandmother, her daughter and 4 children are slaughtered. And then people want at least the life sentence. And what? People are telling them they're simplistic. Go tell that to that grandmother that you're simplistic. You want this man to be jailed for life. This is why the condescension and the arrogance of these people is why they have a less than 1% support in Jamaica. The people are not morons. You cannot tell the people that they want something, they want to feel safe, and they're being simplistic.
What then, Mr.
That is why the people are going for extreme measures. When the reasonable expectations in other countries have been called simplistic.
Mr.
Really?
Chang,
It's nonsense, man.
Mr. Chang, let me just ask you something though. You talk about rehabilitation. You really feel that some people are beyond rehabilitation?
No, I didn't say that. I said some people, but not 5 people. A man who slaughtered a mother and 4 children, a baby, cut them throat. Don't tell me about rehabilitation for him. Yes, there's something he rehabilitated. But this man, there is no way he should see the light of day again.
We are
your children, you will talk about rehabilitation for this. Nobody, no sane person will talk about rehabilitation for this man. If it happened to them, who feels it knows it. And if condescension.
Yes.
We should wait to hear what the court has to say and what the fine.
Yes, all right, okay. Thank you both, gentlemen, for a spirited discussion and debate on the topic. Have a productive day. Listeners, thanks so much for joining us this morning on the Morning Watch. This certainly has been the Morning Watch, and thanks to our producer and our guests. I'm Dylan Toussaint, handing you back to Love in the Morning with Roshane Douglas.
This time you're now invited to listen to the program Forward in Faith. Forward in Faith is brought to you by the New Testament Church of God, Bayside Port.